Hello, my name is Kindson, and in this video I'm going to be discussing REST web services. It's been a while since I've made my last video, but I'm going to make this as a very short one. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the concept of REST web services, REST web services, and then we are going to discuss Richardson's maturity model. If you are not a tech professional, no problem. This concept applies to everyone that uses any IT equipment, be it a laptop or a desktop, your mobile phone, whatever you use. Most likely in one way or the other you are using REST web services. Now the question is, how do you get the weather updates on your desktop? REST web services. How do you get the current exchange rate in your mobile phone? REST web services. How do you do a mobile transaction with your bank right from your phone? REST web services again is the answer. So there is a system, a technology that allows two systems to communicate. A banking system and your mobile phone communicate without anybody, any personnel being in between. So REST web services affects everyone. So right now I'm going to put this away and let's discuss REST web services. I've put together this PowerPoint presentation so that I'll use it to explain. So let's see, what is REST web services? First, what is a web service? A piece of business logic on the internet accessible through standard base internet protocols such as HTTP or SMTP. So this is just a formal definition. So REST web services, or let's say web service, communicates on the web using protocols that are used normally on the web, like HTTP, FTP, SMTP, and so on. So it means that for there to be communication between two systems, because I told you that web services allow two systems to communicate: a banking system, your mobile phone, some payment platform, and your bank. So how do the two systems communicate? The protocol they use is the HTTP protocol or other internet-based protocol. But then, what is REST web services? Now, there are two types of web services. We have the SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, and we have the REST, Representational State Transfer. We are not going to talk about SOAP. We are going to focus on REST. So, what is REST web services? REST, in the first place, means Representational State Transfer. It's not a protocol. Is now a standard. It's architectural style. It's a style of developing web service such that if your web service conforms to this style, okay, then you've developed REST web service. Okay, so what are these styles? That is what we are going to discuss now. For us to discuss these various styles that a web service should conform to that can make it a REST web service, we have to discuss the Richardson's maturity model. So this model streamlines these styles such that there are different levels that your web service can reach for it to be fully RESTful. So when you hear of the word RESTful, okay, it's a verb that indicates a web service being in line with this architectural style. Before we proceed, I want you to understand about HTTP verbs or HTTP methods. There are four of them. Get is used to get or retrieve information about a resource or state of a resource. Post is used to create new resource, just like you submit information, create a new user by submitting information on a form. Put is for modification or editing or updates. Delete, of course, you know, is for delete. So let's discuss Richardson's maturity model, and then we discuss various aspects of this model. How do we know if a web service is a REST web service? Well, a web service might not be completely defined as a RESTful web service or a REST web service. So there are different levels that can be attained, and these different levels is specified or developed by Leonard Richardson, and is called Richardson's maturity model. So let's look at these various levels. There are 4 of them, and we start from the first one. Okay, yeah, we start from the first one is level 0. I think this is a typo. The first one is level 0. Sorry, I'm going to. Okay, let's get this straight. Okay, this is the first one. It's level 0. Wow. Sorry for this. Oh, okay. So this is level 0, not RESTful. So this level 0 actually goes here. Okay. So this level 1 here. Okay, so level 0 of the Richardson's maturity model is where we are. Level 0 means not RESTful, means that at this level your web service is not RESTful. It doesn't have any attribute of a REST web service, and that's what is called swamp of POX, plain old XML, meaning that everything is in one, all the request goes to just a single XML endpoint. The operation and the data is just in one endpoint or one XML file. So you have operation / operation, you have enable IDD, disable IDD, set credit, 3 operations in one XML. Of course, this is not RESTful, and this is not what we want to do. Just putting everything in just one file, that is not RESTful. That is level 0. So we have level 1. This is a typo here. Level 1 introduces resource-based URIs, meaning that for you to attain level 1 of the Richardson's maturity model, you have to use resource-based URIs. And what is resource-based URIs? They are URIs that are like directories specifying a path to a resource. So if you look at these 3 examples here, we have www.facebook.com/profile/Kindson. That's me. So it represents path to the profile for this user. Okay. The same goes here. Lines / this details for this line, and services for this line, mobile services for a particular line. So if your web service conforms to this, that is, if you have resource-based URI defined, you are at level 1 of the Richardson's maturity model. So level 2, using the proper HTTP verbs or HTTP methods. If you are going to do if you want to create a new request, a new user, a new profile, then the method should be post. If you want to delete an item, a resource, then the method should be delete. If you don't use the correct verb, then you've not attained level 2. But if you use the correct HTTP methods, okay, then you've reached level 2 of the Richardson's maturity model. Maybe you pause this video and take a look at the various verbs and the explanation here. Level 3 is Hatheos. Hatheos, that is the name of this acronym. It means Hypermedia as the engine of application state. What does it mean? It means that hypermedia or hyperlinks is provided to help the user navigate the web service, okay, or to navigate the response that have been provided. Let's say you have several URLs or URIs. You don't expect your user to remember all of this. Okay, you only provide a link for them to direct them to each part of the website or of the information you want them to get. So if you implement this by providing links, unsolicited links, unsolicited links for other operations that the user might need, then that is HTTPS, and that is you've attained level 3, and at level 3 your web service is fully RESTful. So that is REST web services and Richardson's maturity model. Thanks for viewing this slide, but just a little takeaway. I'm going to show you a web service I developed, and let's see how it actually works. I developed this web service in the .NET framework using Visual Studio 2013, and I also use C#. How to develop this in Visual Studio, I might do this in another video, but for now I'm just going to show you how it exactly works. So now, resource-based URIs, the correct HTTP methods, and then HTTPS, Hypermedia as the engine of application state. We are going to demonstrate some of them. So my web service is up and running. If I now go to my browser, this Postman web client, I'm not going to talk much about it in this video, but let's do a test. If I make a request, okay, I'm going to request for a line, this, okay. Good. I think it will be clearer in Internet Explorer. Okay, so paste. Okay, so I have this details for this line, and I can just say /services. I have services for the particular line. So that is how it works. So I've discussed a little about REST web services. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna make better videos next time. And I'd like to thank you once more for viewing.